Hello, everybody, and welcome back to A Call to Rising. I need to adjust the volume just a little bit. There we go. Welcome back to A Call to Rising, episode 4. Am I right, guys?
Yes.
I think so.
Yay, game
Yeah.
4. Thank you very much for joining us. As always, welcome to the party. Appreciate you being here and watching our shows. Please check out our Twitter and Discord, where we have all the up-to-date information below, so you can find some really cool shows like The Kingdom of Fife or The Mimic Nights, which are on other days of the week. That's as much as I got right now. I'm sorry.
I can confirm that the Mimic Nights is really good.
There we go. I've watched at least one or two of theirs, and they are particularly funny. They've got a very good banter going between them all.
It's also very interesting how they're dealing with things. So.
Yes. So go check them out. Otherwise, we would like to thank our sponsors. As always, Brew, the mistress of maps, can be found at... Darn it. Darn my notes being lost. This is what happens when you set things up last minute. RueInc.com. Thank you, Rue, for your great support to the Welcome to the Party, as well as... if you're looking for awesome loot for dice and other game accessories, go to tabletoploot.com. Because we're gamers. We need more dice. Let's be honest here.
Never enough dice.
There's never enough dice.
Never enough.
Yes.
Especially in Exalted.
Well, let's get you guys going then so you can get up there. When last we left off with A Call to Rising, it has been a shopping adventure within the city of Trigard / the suburbans of Denlit, where honestly everybody in the party is just still getting their feet under them after being transported kind of, one might say magically, to another continent where they don't know anybody, barely each other, and it seems that at least most of the people here kind of want to go home. So when we really left off, we had Isabella, who is sadly not with us tonight. I should include that. Isabella and Mark were accomplishing their many tasks of buying hats, repairing cloaks, finding baked goods, while also meeting a slightly shady-looking contact while in the city and possibly picking up a job from her. Meanwhile, Twitch was making friends with Nate, teaching him how to gamble, or Nate teaching him how to sleight of hand. It was a little give and take there in that situation.
Bit of both.
Bit of both. Meanwhile, Renessa got her sleep, or rest in the case, which has
4-hour nap.
elven naps. They're called elven naps. Taking her elven nap, and once they were both up, decided to play a small prank on Isabella and Mark, which was maybe not well received. But after a short lunch or dinner, depending on how you thought of it, Isabella and Mark went back, took their own rest, leaving Renessa and Twitch to go off into their own shopping adventure, starting with picking up some more supplies for Giles as he forges papers for the party. Well, we left off with you guys finishing up an exhilarating bookshop trip, where you both picked up numerous books, and now it was a question of what would you like to do next?
We left a bookshop before I could make him mad and rearrange everything.
Yes.
Everything.
Must rearrange.
Well, it has to be in alphabetical order.
By author's
genre.
middle name.
And genre.
Yep.
So, where to next?
I can think of a couple of minor things that might be useful to have.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's right. I wanted to get healing stuff.
Which is useful.
So is that the first stop then? Is you're gonna start searching for some healing stuff?
Blah. If that's what a deer tree put.
Sure.
Push wants to.
We can find an alchemist for some healing potions.
I was more looking for healing supplies for like bandaging wounds.
Bandages. Oh, okay.
Kits
Yeah.
and such.
Be a bit cheaper than healing potions.
All right.
Okay.
Can I get an investigation for you for the first roll of tonight?
Whee!
I was gonna buy healing potions with the starting money, but they are super expensive.
Yep.
50 pieces a pot.
But
There's my
one
investigation.
might say worth it.
I rolled an 8.
Awesome. This is a great start
That-
to the night.
That is not promising for tonight.
You
I
see-
have no bonuses to investigation. It's just a flat D20.
the two of you start kind of just wandering the streets, trying to like look at shop names, taking looks at signage, trying to figure out something around here, but you're taking this stroll from the bookshop. You were already on the corner of middle class to higher class, and you're just starting to take that turn into higher class without even realizing it. When what really catches your attention is suddenly there's a lot more of the black and purple guard uniforms that you were told to kind of look out for. And a couple of people are now starting to give Twitch a slight look at her shabby clothing.
Kitty is not dressed well.
Maybe we should try the other.
Well,
end
let's
of
go a different
town.
way.
Yeah.
Let's get out of here. This is awkward.
Just direct 180.
Just a direct 180 wrong turn. Let's go.
With quick turns of turning around then and just heading your way back into that denlit kind of zone. You just zoop, turn around and beeline out that way.
We just noped out of there.
Yep, you may have in fact noped out of there.
Okay.
But it does take you back down towards the open market area where it is now afternoon. It's again a busy time as people are doing their last minute kind of shopping before starting to pack up for things. And you do see that they have a variety of more basic stalls of butchers, vegetable stands, small arms of not a blacksmith per se, but things that people have brought over at least from those locations. And you, with a little like searching around this area, you're able to find someone who's selling just plain bandages and other very basic gear.
Yay!
If that's what you're looking to buy.
Yes.
All right.
Because it would be nice to stabilize people until we can actually do any healing.
This is true. Stabilizing is the first step to healing.
Yeah,
It's usually helpful if they stay alive.
and it's helpful to stop the death throw, the death saving throws.
Yeah, without having to make a medicine check, yeah. But yes.
That's something. Go ahead.
No, go for it.
I was just gonna say that there's something really cool about the Deathborn Warlock. Is that if they do a saving throw, they can come back with like a D8 worth of hit points. If they succeed on one, it's really neat.
Interesting.
There's a couple classes that have that little, like, I come back from death sort of situation.
I think there's one that brings you back to, I don't know if it's a class or like something specific where like you don't die but you stay at one hit.
Orcs.
But the next time you're hit, you're gone.
Half-orcs.
Yeah.
Half-orcs have if you knock them below the next round, they come back at 1.
I think that's a Pathfinder thing.
That Pathfinder thing?
Thought it was also this edition. But
Anyway.
none of us are half-orcs for this to matter for me to remember. At this point in time. But yes, you would like to purchase
okay,
some
yeah.
healing kits.
Yes, please.
They are 5 gold each.
All right. How many are available at this little shop? Stand. Merchant. There.
1. 2, because I was plussing 1 to that. 2.
Cute. Okay, I'm pulling up gold. Currency. There we go. And you said 5 gold apiece?
5 gold apiece.
I'll take both.
All right. He is happy to make a sale.
10. Yay, that worked.
Anything else in the general store supply line that you were looking to pick up?
I guess since we made the beeline for the healing stuff, what is available? What other things are available on at least just this immediate table?
On this immediate table, there's a little bit of the knick-knack kind of sets. So you were able to find like a healing set, but they do have around here a few small craft sets for basic crafting materials. It looks like, I don't want to say you're at like a pawn shop spot, but it does look like they have a lot of secondhand tools.
Ah.
So you see there's like a carpenter's belt that has all their basic materials, as well as a small paint set that's got a small amount of paints and brushes there.
That sounds kind of cool. How much is the paint set? This is gonna be a random impulse buy.
10 gold. Got like 3 brushes. The Crayola pack of colors. The 8 crayons, not the 20.
Just the 8. I mean, that's not too bad. Damn it, currency. Sure, we'll get that too, and then I'll say thank you and follow Twitch to wherever they need to go. Because otherwise, I'll just buy it.
I'm gonna head over to. You said there was like a blacksmith or someone selling.
It's more someone who is selling the supplies that are like brought over to them. They don't have a full spread. You wouldn't be able to like customize things around here. But you can see that they have some swords, they have some daggers, they have a spot where they're selling arrows.
Okay. Any shields?
Yeah, they've got some metal shields. Not many, but a couple.
Okay. How many and what kinds?
They've got 3 shields. 2 of them are just, they look kind of standard metalish. 1 is made of wood.
Okay. And are they round or
One
like-
is that more crescent-shaped shield shape.
The kite
and
shield.
not a kite shield, not that large, but it's still that. It's got the triangle-ish shape, for lack of a better term. One's round. Both of them just look very plain, like there's not much actually put to it.
I'm forgetting what the term for them is. But yeah, okay. So like round and then
The vaguely triangular shaped one, that's not actually a triangle, but
is it like an isosceles triangle? Like that?
yeah.
Okay. And that's metal or wood?
That's also metal. The wood one looks to be, it is squarish. But again, normal size, not kite shield size.
Okay.
More for the medium-sized person.
I'll look over the isosceles one.
All right. Roll an int check for me. Don't fall. Don't fall.
What kind of check?
Int.
Int?
Int. As you are in kind of like checking this out.
Okay.
1s and 8s. This is the kind of style we've got for the night, I see.
This is not promising.
Like,
hey, look, it's also a +0.
yeah, like looking it over, it's a very basic shield. There's nothing fancy to it. This is a baseline kind of deal. But it looks like it's sturdy. It's not falling apart. It's pretty decent on the band holding it.
Okay. How much for this shield here?
10 gold.
Gold? Okay. I'll take it.
All right. You have
Um,
a shield.
And then I'll look through the arrows.
It's kind of that they've got the equivalent of like a keg kind of on the side that just has a bunch sticking out of them. So they've got slightly
Okay.
different fletching on some of them, but otherwise, kind of looking through, you think this might have been the mosh posh bin. The we have these as extras were not actually Fletchers. That's a different job.
Okay.
But you know, at a yard sale, the more things you sell, the more likely people are to come to your tent.
Right. Do you happen to have any particular what's the word? Utility arrows.
The gentleman who's running the shop is a dwarf. Kind of like looks up at you as you are towering over them. Like, what do you mean by utility? They have a purpose to shoot people with.
Like signal arrows or whistler arrows.
Whistler arrows. Like, that just go as you shoot
Yeah.
them?
Yeah.
That sounds kind of stupid. Why wouldn't you just have an arrow that shoots things?
It's for sending signals or alerting people.
Look, I got what you see here, which is
Okay.
a barrel full of arrows. If you want a barrel full of arrows, then you can get an arrow. If you're looking for something fancy here, then this is not your stop.
Okay. Do you know where I might be able to stop?
Actual Fletcher
Okay.
kind of like looks up and down around the thing, and he's like, I'm sure that there's one around here.
Thank you.
Counts out his like 10 gold again, puts it away.
Then I will look for a Fletcher.
Looking up and down, you do see someone who sells much more like bows and arrows and things.
Okay.
Along that line.
Okay. I'll head over to them.
Here you have someone who almost matches your size, or is very equivalent in your size, as you see you're actually talking to a Goliath.
Fancy.
With the lightly grayish skin, who's looking at you just about eye height, because you are both about 7 feet tall.
Okay. Can I notice if he has any, like, whistler arrows or flare arrows laid out?
Roll an investigation.
Okay, that's better.
Well, I look things.
Nope. 8.
Oh. Really?
There we go again.
This is now a thing. I see. We've entered a thing. There we go. Ammunition.
It's because Isabella's in here.
We
Christine's got the luck now.
we don't have the counterbalance. Actively, what's mainly out on the table is bows. So you just don't see anything, and there's like a collection of arrows just behind the Goliath. So you can't like really look over to see if they've got anything different.
Okay. Excuse me. I'm looking for whistler arrows. And I was wondering if you might have any.
Yeah, I got a small amount.
Okay. How many and how much?
He like looks over, pulls through things for a moment. Like, I got 5. Could sell them all to you for gold.
I'll take it.
All right. They're all about the same pitch. If you want a lot more, you'll have to come outside to our shop.
Okay.
What kind of bows are at the table? Because that's what Vanessa's going to like stand there and look at while Tree gets whistling.
You see that there is a slight variety. There's a longbow. There's also a longbow that looks like it's built a little bit more for a smaller person, and a longbow built for a larger person. That they have a couple of crossbows there, but really only 2, and they both seem to be medium sized. But they seem to have just a few longbows laid out for more.
She's just looking, so. Me and go.
Is there anything else you're looking for? And I am going to say for the Whistler arrow, it does a little bit less damage.
Okay.
Just because it would have to be hollowed out, so it wouldn't impact as well.
Yeah.
So if you shoot a Whistler arrow at a person, I'm going to say it is... do -2 damage, just to whatever.
Okay.
So it still could do some damage, it's just not quite as sturdy, so it won't get the full force.
Yeah.
Minimum 1, just in case.
I'm gonna have to add it as a custom item.
Yeah, it'll have to be that.
I can't use just normal arrows, it just adds it to the total arrows.
Anything else that you are looking for in a general store sort of way? You guys don't want pastries? Very classy hats?
They're important.
They are important.
I mean, I'm not unwelcome to continuing wandering around the market to see what else is around.
Yeah, sure.
But I'm not interested in buying hats.
The only other thing that I might want to restock is some acid.
Ah, you will need an honest alchemist for that. And you have, with your rolls of 8s for investigating the area. You don't see it along this stretch of road.
At some point, we're just gonna accidentally wander back into like the higher class area, and everyone's gonna be like, "Why are you guys back here?"
You could always stop and get better clothing. I mean,
We don't have much need for that.
yeah.
Who knows when we're gonna get whisked off to another continent?
Yeah. I don't know. I will take out 2 whistle arrows in hand.
Yep. Got a little stuck.
Oh, a little frozen.
We'll come back to that then. Hopefully, it's not very long.
Pause that mid thought.
Pause that thought. Renessa.
Hello?
Oh, hello. You're back.
Yay!
We heard I'm going to
Okay.
take 2 of those whistler arrows, and that's about where you stopped.
Oh, okay. And hand them to Renessa.
Cool. I guess I have to how to put in a custom.
I
That's what little notes, side notes are for right now.
think you might.
Ah, found it.
Okay. I don't know what's going on.
Sometimes things just go a little crazy.
Okay.
Otherwise, like, really, up and down the street, it is very basic market stuff. It is in that land of, you see some people have set up stalls that they have little messages about having a actual store somewhere else. This is more just the small stuff for a thoroughfare. And none of it is particularly high class or nice, or if it was stolen, they wouldn't be rushing to terribly take down the person. And there are the occasional guards about, but again, it wasn't anything where... There are a couple of guards, but they're not actively watching anybody. They're not giving anybody odd eyes. They're just kind of at the beginning and at the end. See, we might have to take a quick mini break just in case, as there's a small possibility this could break things as we try to fix Tree's connection right now.
Oh.
Okay.
But go for it.
Is that better?
So far, you're here. You're with us.
Okay. And it's not freezing up every second.
Yay!
Yay!
Yay. What'd you
Okay. I switched internet connections. It's through the same router. It's just 2 different bits.
Yeah. No problem.
So,
But otherwise, the area you're in, you could find a lot of the base stuff. Like, you do see someone who's selling a couple of barrels, but they note that they have an actual cooper elsewhere. You see that there is a blacksmith who's really just selling some of the overwares, you would kind of say. But then they have mentioned that their store is elsewhere. It's all of that kind of little offshoots. And occasionally a person who seems to be doing the honest-to-goodness junkyard sale from a little tent on the side.
Ooh, junkyard sale.
You would like to investigate the junkyard sale?
Yes.
yeah, why not?
All
Who
right.
knows what you might
Interesting
find.
custom that Renessa has probably not seen a lot of, if ever.
Let's go peruse the yard sales.
Yeah, Grundig, always investigate the junkyard sale.
Yes. You go over to the junkyard, and it is being run by a elderly-looking woman who is maybe human, maybe half-elf. It's a little hard to tell because she's got large, bushy white hair that she's kind of just got kind of controlled back in a lopsided ponytail sort of way that's covering what we do say would be like a lot of the obvious features, otherwise known as the ears, to differentiate. But she looks pretty human. Who kind of like watches as you come over, and she goes, yes, look at all of my wares. Make an investigation, both of you, for the perusing to see what you can see.
I swear, if you guys get 8s again.
Yes!
Hey, you got an 8.
Yeah, but it's an 8 plus something.
Still an 8 involved, but I rolled a 14.
Yeah.
I broke the 8s and 1s.
You start, like, looking through, and you see that she's got a couple of, like, the normal adventuring stuff. There are a couple of, like, daggers and kind of random, like, there is a random arrow sticking out of a pile that looks like a kind of normal arrow there that you're not 100% sure, like, why she's got it there. You see a couple of, like, small animal skulls. You see that there is a long blue shawl that's there. There's a couple of small gemstones of varying sizes, like a red one, a small black smooth one, that there's a clear yellow one, that there's a small bracelet that looks like it is either of a gold or similar kind of style to it.
I'm gonna look at the arrow and the shawl.
The shawl seems to be of like a nice fabric. It's pretty good. It seems to at least be held up, and it's maybe a little dirty on the edges, but not too bad. Not too bad looking. And it's of a very nice blue, like not midnight blue, just slightly more electric blue. So it took dye, and it seems to be holding it pretty well.
So it's a bit brighter, but it's still like a darker shade of blue.
Yes. Otherwise, the arrow honestly looks like a pretty normal looking arrow, like overall for things. It's just like one arrow that's sitting there on the table, and it is a normal, like, arrowhead. It's of a normal looking metal. It's not too dissimilar in designs to one that you have. It's honestly an arrow. Or so you think.
For my assumption, it's
Yeah.
an arrow.
It's an arrow.
I'll look at the gems, beads.
Yeah, like looking them over, it's this mix of, there's a couple of small ones that kind of look like just fancy rocks. You pick up one that is some sort of a gemstone, like, but it's of a really rough looking cut. When you pick up the black stone, you realize that it is a bit warm, like that as you're holding it, compared to everything else, which is cooled down with the air. The yellow one is pretty, like, clear crystal and of a larger size than the others.
What's this black one of?
She, like, grabs it from you to, like, take a really good look. Yes, this is a stone from the Shadowlands. Very
Interesting.
Very interesting. Very rare. Holds it up. Do you want it?
Friendly says to run because the table's a mimic.
And these other ones?
And she puts the one stone out. She goes, this is a fine topaz. Yes. And this, she picks up, like, another one that had the rougher cut. And she goes, this is a garnet. And she, like, picks up another one. She goes, this is a rock. Do you want the rock? I will sell you the rock.
I think I'll pass for now.
She puts the rock down.
It's a special rock.
What's the bracelet like? I want to admire a gold bracelet.
Oh, looking it over, it is actually like a pretty nice, fine looking. It's got some intricate patterns on the top of it of intertwining leaves and roses or similar flower. It looks like it's a very nice, fine little piece.
I like it.
Yes, that is a fine bracelet. She holds it up and she like kind of does the lay it across your wrist kind of thing. Goes, yes, this is very fine. You want to buy it?
Why not?
It is 30 gold.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my god.
Wonderful.
Why not?
I will throw in the rock.
And the rock is a trap.
Why not?
You have a gold bracelet and a sling bullet.
I'm literally putting it in my inventory as rock.
Nice. And then she turns back towards Twitch and goes, and you want to buy?
No, thank you. I'm just browsing.
Kind of like moves back a little bit. And then turns her attention back to Vanessa. You also like scarf. Scarf is very pretty.
I figured out Renessa is an impulse buyer because high different cultures. Which makes sense. Anyway, outside of the laughter, back in character. What is the scarf made of?
It's roll knowledge nature.
Ooh, to do a nature. I think is this her first nature check?
This
It
might
might
be her second. We might have rolled one for you, but this will be your first nature check.
My first
Yeah.
time.
It'd
Yeah.
be the second end game anyway.
Yeah, because she identified the methods.
It's a pretty blue cloth.
It is a really pretty blue cloth.
Oh dear.
I ask her what it's made of.
This is made from fine sheep. The finest sheep from across the water. You cannot find these sheep around here, no. You would have to travel across the snow-shod bay to find such fancy sheep as these, that have made such a fine shawl as these. You want to buy?
Before I make that decision of if I'm going to be buying the shawl or not, as I hold up a tea, like, oh yeah, is the continent where all of us kind of came from across from Snowshod Bay?
You are not positive of this yet.
Okay.
And I think we came from different continents.
Oh god, that makes it even worse.
It's certainly in the area of one, you guys haven't actually talked to each other much about this yet. That half of your party at least is pretty sure that they're from another area and hasn't talked to the other half of the party to really discuss that all.
We really haven't talked.
Yeah, you guys
As a
haven't had a
party,
buddy-buddy moment yet.
We had a buddy-buddy moment fighting the method.
You did. It was just didn't leave a lot of... You've had great fighting moments. You just haven't had a lot of great sit down and talk moments.
Yeah.
I mean, we have, just the party's been split during them.
Because now we're gonna have mess up sleep schedules. It's probably fine.
At least for a day or two.
I think I can stick it out and get us back on sleep schedules.
You would like to buy?
First, how much is it?
This. She like looks it over again. It's very fine. 5 gold. And you
Would
see,
you drag her away after this because she'll just buy everything?
you
Yes, Grundig, this is a curse.
You
It is
see-
cursed.
You see as she like reaches down, you have great perception, so you just see her kind of like reach down, and after a moment she goes, "I'll throw in rock."
I'm good on rocks, but I'll take the shawl.
Excellent, and she hands it over.
Take her away.
How about we look at some of the other stalls?
You need not look at any other stall. I have best stall.
Just start like tugging on her sleeve and being like, "There's some food stalls over there we can check out."
Ooh, food. Not that she's really hungry right now, but she will gladly let you lead her own way.
Come back soon.
Hi, she was a sweet granny type. She couldn't say no to sweet granny type.
Never talk or trust the sweet granny type.
Always trust a sweet granny type.
All of
Until
these
they try to
answers are
eat you.
true.
If there's one thing I've learned while playing D&D, it's that if you come across a gingerbread house in the woods, you should eat it. It'll kill you.
I'm pretty sure she's already had the idea, Grundig.
Yeah. It's still an interesting idea of turning the sweet granny into a monster.
Nice
But-
is different than good. You only grabbed 1 stone, right? Not 2.
I only have one.
Okay. I'm just making notes, and I want to make sure. Did you grab both? She offered the
No, I
second
didn't.
one.
Unless she snuck it. No.
No, she didn't. But she definitely held it up for you.
I don't even know where I put it. It might get dropped later on. I don't know.
But that does seem to be the next most interesting thing at the market for you.
I mean, I'm done buying things unless she sees something else.
Hey, look, something shiny.
Ooh, shiny. Oh, I guess I need to add that extra arrow into her stuff.
I didn't think you bought the extra arrow. You would have to go back.
I didn't? No, I'm gonna leave it there. I'm not walking back.
It's a good decision.
I thought I did, but no, I only looked at it.
Yeah, you only looked at it.
Yeah. You managed not to impulse buy a single arrow.
Everything else, but not the arrow.
I instead bought a 30 gold beautiful bracelet.
Can you prove it's 30 gold worth?
Probably not.
She don't care. It's got leaves and roses on it. It reminds her of home. Anyway, where's Twitch leading her? 'Cause we're just like,
A
let's go.
food stall?
There's a butcher. There is a baker. There are a couple of farmers who have like small amounts of produce. It's starting to slowly dwindle down a little bit as people are getting
Okay.
ready to close things up.
How's the
No, the
bakery
food ones are
stall?
still going. Bakery stall is less on breads. They seem to be running lower, but they still have some.
Do they have pastries or?
No, they do not have pastries here.
I kind of bought all the cookies.
I had to go to a
Right,
different
but I
place
thought
for
you just got a batch from the main bakery. rather
No,
than
there was
stuff.
only cookies that was around. There wasn't any like pastries or anything.
Oh, okay.
You have to head into a different part of town for pastries.
It's like I'm planning on going to get a wand of detect magic if I can.
This is the low end of town. We need to go to the high end of town for the pastries.
I don't
Basically.
even know where Nessa could learn.
You cut out a little bit there.
I was just wondering out loud if Renessa, as a ranger, could get detect magic. I'm looking it up. I usually not get it for. Yeah, I can. Oh wow, it's right there in first level.
There you go then.
Okay, cool.
I know I can, but it's an Eldritch evocation.
For me, it's divination.
It's still divination spell. It is for Twitch to get it. It is not a spell slot. It is an Eldritch invocation.
Ooh.
Yeah, which basically I believe it means I can cast it as a cantrip.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, basically. But it takes up an Eldritch invocation.
Yeah, and so I can't get it until we level up.
Or a different
I
And
one.
mean, I can't get that spell until I level up either. So
I have to get you guys out of shopping for you to level up. I mean this seriously. Nicely, but seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, I was over 200 gold and now I'm under 200.
Also, maybe while you're for impulse shopping.
Whee! But people are so interesting. Like, why would someone just randomly sit out with like stuff just on the ground for people to like peruse to buy? Like, interesting company.
Because they don't have anything else. That's how they make their coin for the day.
And they could be cursed.
Well,
Ah.
coin is important for food.
I don't know how many of these people are selling cursed items, because don't curses usually latch on to the person that picks them up?
Oh.
Would you
Depends
like
on if
to
they attune.
Would you like
No.
to find a cursed item and try it out to then learn the answer? We could work on that.
No.
I'll put that down as a personal goal.
No.
Gotcha. Twitch wants cursed item.
Rich wants to be surprised by cursed item.
God dang it.
We just had to
I
open
may,
our
or may
mouth.
not, I may or may not have planned out that conversation.
Anyway,
And
we're looking at
it's-
bread.
You already have a book on a cursed tower.
Yeah,
Yee.
which would be fun to investigate.
Yes.
Probably better than just the two of you.
I mean, we have no idea where the tower would be anyway, and we don't know any. Well, you know some of it because of me. I know nothing.
Yeah.
I was just like, this book title sounds cool. Let's buy this.
Impulse shopping. I get it now. It all has come full circle.
Okay.
Oh, you wanted to buy bread? You can buy bread.
I'm good.
Yeah. Actually, how many rations do I have? Oh, okay. Got 5 days of rations.
I have 10 days, so I don't need to buy any. And I can share. Also, I'm a ranger, so I can hunt.
Yeah.
One thing I love about rangers is I just hunt.
I think
I
I
have a
have that
fishing
written
pole.
down as part of your what you do for the party. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hunt and forage.
If we
What
can
is
get
it?
out of the shopping.
Rangers mixed with the Outlander background are broken because
Outlander background. Except this
they
time.
when they gather food for the party in their favorite terrain, they gather
Everything.
10 rations worth of food.
They can literally gather everything.
Which is why I so far haven't questioned how you fed the party while you were walking through the burnt tundra.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Nature magic?
Nature magic. A wizard did it. Or in this case, a ranger.
Mental note: create food and water.
Take the good berry spell because that'll give you 1 hit point back and it will fill you for the day.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Well, it gives you your nourishment for the day.
Yeah, it gives you your nourishment. It's not like Lambus. Anyway.
Okay.
I'm done shopping. I'll let you know.
Shall we head back?
How long have we been out shopping?
You got lost for like an hour. You came back. It's like 4 in the afternoon, you would guess. Like, you are starting to see the edges of dusk coming.
Yeah, about time to head back. See if they're still sleeping.
Okay.
You head back to the Red Udder. You're able to find it pretty well now with a ranger, like, helping along the way, who at least helps out in these situations. You see that
I'm not directionally challenged.
You see that the inn is actually now full of a decent amount of people, all grabbing their evening fare.
Mm-hmm.
You head upstairs to take a look at the peoples.
Just kind of like open the door a bit, just kind of peek in and see if they're still sleeping or.
They are both still sleeping. You see that they still have their food kind of off on the side there, set up for everybody.
The keyword here is everybody.
But nobody told us that.
But I'm also thinking
You
of
did-
if someone walks in here and randomly wakes up, I don't know you, I don't want to get hit with a glaive.
It's more than 10 feet away.
Or
I would not keep
Isabella
the food
throwing
within 5
daggers.
feet.
Or Aaron gets the dagger thrown at me.
Yeah.
You will return to the bar area then, it sounds like.
Yeah, I don't want to disturb rest.
Alright. Yeah,
Okay.
there's it's more of an evening fare now, so people are coming in and are sitting down. You see that like some people have their own kind of set up cliques, if you will, as a few people see somebody come in. You get the quick hurrah as they realize that a friend of theirs is in. Then turn over to talk to like certain people, asking them to join over and chat with them. But there's like a couple of areas like off on the sides where you can like scoot over and at least be on your own.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's take one of those spots.
What did I just do? Oop. There we go. Yeah, you go and take off one of those spots. Thank
Yes.
you. And
Also, random realization, Renessa is basically like an anthropologist.
so you're like looking around and listening out and like people watching. Are you people watching?
Yes.
Roll a perception for your people watching then.
Yeah.
Totally out of character. You're turning into Lara Croft.
Without the guns. And say you have bows.
And swords.
The new Lara Croft.
Okay.
Now we just need to go into an ancient dungeon to get the golden thing that will make the temple go crush.
It's a 6.
Aw, I thought that was your original one roll for a second. So I was like, this is not that roll.
It's just
Yeah.
I apologize that Roll20 apparently hates us tonight. Uh,
yeah.
Yeah, you're just kind of looking around a little bit. Like, you're having that bit where there's just so much new. You're in a new area that you're doing that quick, like, jolt looking around for a moment. Of, like, kind of just keening into certain words and then switching to another person's conversation. So you're not getting, like, full stories from people. You get the, doing pretty well. She had 2 children. No, nothing's going great at all. Third one this week. The price is too high. I don't think this tastes right. What do you do with my wife? Like, it's just you're jumping from one person to another, and
What did you do with my wife?
yeah,
I like the idea that those are all the same conversation. Just different
One
people
table.
saying it.
yeah.
One massive table.
It's just like, oh, Charlotte had a baby. That's the 3rd one this week.
How did you do that with my wife?
Someone else just had 2 more like bonus that referring to an actual living like person or like an animal in the field or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just heard 2 children this week.
Best game of telephone ever.
What was the original message? No one knows.
Something about
Yeah.
the price of children being the 3rd high this week. Yeah.
Something like that.
I'm gonna look around just to make sure, like, is there anyone watching us?
Like, precisely. Make a perception.
Be better than an 8.
6, even. We're not setting the bar super high here.
Do better than a 3.
There we go.
Hey!
It's a 3. The last rolls have been 1, 2, and 3.
It's because I'm asleep and not helping.
Yep.
It's also because Isabella is not here rolling things to randomly offset stuff too.
Yep. Yeah, you're
There's an echo.
testing.
Hmm.
Someone's got a little echo.
Like, I hear an echo from you and me.
Vanessa, speak.
Ah.
I think you heard an echo.
Yep, it's on Vanessa's side.
Oh no.
Sorry, this is how technical
Oh god, that's actually
knowledge
creepy.
works. Yeah, looking around, trying to see if anybody's there. You will
Okay.
hold while the echo persists. Slash talk quietly.
Uh-huh.
So apparently to get my evil laugh really creepy, we need to have the echo.
Just takes practice. Cool.
No more echo.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
There we go.
Yeah, you're looking over, and occasionally people are giving like a quick glance at you, but you're not noticing. Like, nobody seems to be staring, nobody seems to be watching.
Okay.
Yeah. You are seeing that there's a good amount of, a good mix of humans, half-elves, a couple of dwarves are here. Like, you're still kind of the tabaxi in the room. But
Still the 7-foot cat folk.
still the 7-foot cat. But compared to everybody else, you're dressed just as nicely as most of them.
There is no elephant around, so
There's no elephant. You are the tabaxi.
No, but there's an elf around.
Da 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 da. We get too bad, we'll start a pun counter one day, and then I'll cry. How does that sound?
We'll just.
Hey.
I already did the perusing one.
Yep.
We weren't the one who ended the last session with a pun.
Unintentionally, it was midnight. I take no responsibility for that.
But you also started the session with a pun.
It was the start of something. My brain doesn't work. I take no responsibility for that.
Puns are life.
But otherwise, yeah, you just continue people watching for a bit. Everything seems to be going over pretty normally. It is, both of you have been to a decent fare of mid to lower class taverns, so yeah, this is all pretty normal, pretty comfortable for both of you.
Okay.
And after, like, sitting there for, like, 20 minutes or so, you do get your attention gets grabbed a little bit as you watch that there's an older human gentleman who kind of walks in, looks over, kind of glares at one person who's kind of sitting at a table with a few other people, goes up to the bar, gets himself a drink, and then after a moment, like, speaking quite loudly so as to kind of grab attention to the room, says, "Surprised you're willing to show your face here again, Mallard."
Ooh, here comes the drama. No, Vanessa does not actually say that. That's me saying it.
And you see that there's a half-elven gentleman who actually kind of looks a bit younger, doesn't actually look terribly old, or not like a... He'd be more in that land of adventuring age of you guys, as opposed to an adult, if you will, or middle age. He kind of, like, looks up, gives a quick look at the person, just goes back while all the people he's sitting with kind of, like, do that little awkward shuffle as someone is talking to their friend. And seeing that he's not getting a response for a moment, the gentleman gets back up and he goes, "Yeah, so you're not even gonna look me in the face after you and your father stealing from us?" Kind of, like, gives it a nudge. The half-elf is like, "We haven't taken anything, and we've been hit just as hard as you." Looks over and goes, "Yes. Well, it's your own stupid curse that's brought it upon us and the rest of the farms around us. So I don't understand why you're bringing more bad business to us by even entering this bar." Kind of, like, shuffles his way back over to the side again. And starts pounding down a little bit on the ale.
Farmer's curse. Interesting.
Curse?
Hey, you heard the word curse again. It's like your favorite word of the day.
It's almost like she's interested in supernatural things.
She might be.
A little bit.
But there is, like, for a few moments, like, that odd silence kind of settles over the place until people start, like, picking things back up, trying to ignore vaguely what was happening right then. Otherwise, if you're just continuing to sit there, at one point the bar guy actually does come over to you guys and he's like, "Do you want anything to drink?"
Can I just...
You cut out for a bit. I didn't hear anything.
I also have a chocolate impact. Can I get an ale, please?
Yeah.
I'll have the same.
2 ales. He, like, walks over, takes a few moments, but brings it back to you guys. And, like, as going on, you see it for a moment. Also, coming from around the back, Giles shows up. And, like, kind of looks around, sees you guys, and settles over next to you. And, like, does his own. "I'll take one, too."
How are things going?
I think I've finished up, at least for Nate and Reed. But I can start everything else on you guys tomorrow, but for now, need to give my eyes a rest. Have you guys had fun exploring our little crap hole?
I think so.
Good.
Yeah. Certainly found some useful items. Nod to the shield next to me.
All right, and he does a mini like hand out towards you guys. Was everything successful otherwise?
Yes.
Mhm.
Pulls out the bag and I have to rummage through it. Probably pulls out books, shawl, sets the rock on the table.
Kind of, he looks it all over, like after a moment, kind of expectantly, being like, "Yeah,
Here.
thanks." Like, can fit a lot in that thing. Looks over.
And also hands him the nautical book. Would Reed like this book?
Like, holds it up and he's like, "I'm not sure. I'll give it over to him if you want."
I have a couple others that I want to ask about too, so I'll just bring it down later.
That works.
Yeah.
Actually, if you're going to, and like he hands back over towards you the forgery papers and says, "If you just want to leave these on the desk."
Okay.
Thanks.
Starts putting things, but does not put rock back in bag. Rock. It's just sitting on the table now.
Ah, you keep cutting out a little bit.
No. Can't be. I was saying she was putting everything back in, but forgets to put the rock in.
Oh.
Because it's just a rock.
Forgets. Gotcha.
It's sitting on the table, so.
Yeah, there's now just a rock on the table.
Yeah. Okay.
Is there anything else you guys want to discuss or do?
What did he mean by farmer?
Who are you asking?
The table.
Giles
Just posing the question in general, not the whole tavern, just the
Okay.
two.
Giles, like, in the middle of, like, about to drink, kind of, like, looks at you and goes, "I don't... What?"
Not, like, motion to the guy at the bar.
He, like, looks over his shoulder and taking a quick look at the room. He goes, "Oh. Willard complaining again about, probably his cows?"
Something like that.
Came in and said very loudly why they leave. And
I will
now angry.
I will certainly say you were still cutting out, but I understood what you were going for there. I don't know if you just need to get a little closer to your microphone. That might also be it.
I have I have no idea.
Okay. That did help. I got every word there. But
I'll just kind of talk very loudly at.
You also might check your sensitivity in Discord. I've had to do that a couple times.
Is that better?
so far,
Okay.
Yeah.
If I need to mess with it again, let me know.
okay. So far, everything popped up right there. So that sounded good. Yeah.
Anyway.
Giles looks over and kind of looks over and he goes, was he talking to the young Mallard boy?"
Yes.
Yes.
I think that's what
He kind of laughs for a moment and goes, "The Duck family." Yeah, people. There's a couple of people around the area that always yell that his family's a little too close to the burnt tundra that got their ranch. Brings a curse upon the land. Ooh.
Spooky.
What hook?
It's in that land of, I'm sorry, not the most superstitious of people, so they want to get their ranch as close as they can. It's got a decent amount of land to it. I don't see why not. Nobody else wants to. It's just, you saw, if you go too far in, You got things that try to fight back at you.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
And that's a concern if you're raising any type of animal.
Oh yeah, and around
So-
here, you get the occasional large critter that gets a couple of areas. Most of the time, if it starts wreaking too much havoc on too many farms, the guards will actually come in. They care about the price of cattle and whatnot, but it depends where, it depends what's going on, depends who's paying the bill that week.
Okay.
But I've also kind of like looked around and like, I haven't really been in town for the past 10 days, so
Yeah.
not up on the most recent of tales.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I think we have some reading to do ourselves on this new land.
Well, you got some good books for that, it sounds like.
Mm-hmm. Picked a few up at your friends.
Yes.
Well, don't let me keep you at it too long. You're like, I'm gonna go grab some food. Otherwise, enjoy your night. Like, lifts the ale towards you. Goes off and you watch him go back into the kitchen area and just not really return.
Speaking of not knowing this land,
Pulls out books.
I was wondering where you're from. I haven't seen many of your kind around.
You haven't seen any elf that looks like her before. Let's be honest.
Okay.
None.
Ever.
To be honest, I haven't seen any more of my kind either.
Oh, Fire Nation, how dare you?
No, I'm not the airbender.
Darn.
And not my problem.
She's not a monk.
It's true, she is not a monk.
Or 12-year-old boy, or however old Aang is at the beginning of the series.
Somewhere around there.
There's
Somewhere
a-
around there.
There's a monk tradition, which is Way of the Four Elements.
I've seen it. It looks interesting.
So you can be the avatar.
Yay. Does the island where Vanessa come from actually have a name? Because I don't think I gave it a name in her backstory.
I did give you a name. Are you going to tell it to him? To her. I'll send you a quick.
Oh no.
I'll send you a quick message.
I'm going to scroll through the messages to find it. Oh, that's it.
Sorry, I muted while I typed, just in case it came up too loud.
The clickety clock comes through.
I think it does. Didn't want to test it.
To be fair, I think you have a much nicer mic than pretty much all of us combined.
It's my baby.
I don't even have any idea what continent is across from her island. Like,
You do know that answer, and I don't think I gave that to you.
no, because I only have the names of the two closest kingdoms to the island that used to be at war.
Yeah, no, that was in the land of backstory material I didn't give everybody right away.
Ah.
How dare you?
That's why you don't.
Withholding information like a DM does.
Yeah, well, it's your backstory stuff. You know that the continent where you've spent the most amount of time is Telluray.
I don't know how to spell it. I just guessed when I wrote it down. Whatever.
Sure, I like it.
Uh, There, I just made notes.
Cool.
I would make notes if my character was there. My character is not there, so
Yep.
player knowledge versus character knowledge.
Hooray! Yeah! Spider! Honey, save me. There's a spider crawling down in front of my computer and it's not cool.
Oh my god, it's huge.
It's on the webcam. Why?
The Viking to the rescue.
Thank you. Oh, there's nothing more terrifying than just seeing one suddenly in front of your eyes.
No, you know what's more terrifying? Waking up to one on your head in the middle of the night.
Please make a clip of that now so I can enjoy that for future prosperity. Oh. I've now forgotten the past 10 minutes of game as it has been escaped from my life. I think Twitch asked you a question.
I think so too. I got distracted by spider on camera.
Uh,
I probably would have reacted the same way because I don't like spiders.
I asked where she was from.
Oh yeah. You okay, DM?
I'm good. My heart rate has returned to normal. Oh, look, I have tea.
There you go. He
There
is
might be a
good.
spider in it.
Don't.
I'll stop.
I just remind you that the DM giveth and the DM taketh away.
Agreed.
I was just
That's why
thinking maybe the prank we played earlier was not harsh enough.
and that's why I said I'll stop. Oh, also, Grundig has given us the clip,
Yes, thank you, Grundig.
aka your husband.
Yes, that is my husband.
Anyway, to get back to the question of where my character is from, formulating how she's going to word it. I've spent most of my time wandering on the continent of Teleray, but from an island to the north of the continent, I believe. I don't know. I haven't been there in a while.
Okay.
Like, a long time. I have no idea how long.
Twitch, did you get the message I sent you?
Yes, and I replied.
Oh, sorry. I missed the reply. Oh, well, that would be me writing down the wrong of 2. And now, for the sake of note-keeping, switch. You're now from this other place.
Okay.
That's what I get for looking at my notes before a spider. I'm going to blame the spider, even though it had nothing to do with it. It's the spider's fault.
Mm-hmm.
The damn spider. Messing
It
things up.
planned. It knew.
Yep.
Okay. In that case,
I apologize.
Teleray. Huh. I come from a place near there.
Cool.
The forest of Evergreen. Although, I doubt I'll be back for a long time.
Yeah. I can't ever return to the Isle of Convergence, which is where I'm from. So,
Hmm. Yeah. Sounds like we're both far from home.
mhm. Far from home, new continent, everything is weird.
That's for certain. But you make do with what you're given, right?
Yep. I mean, it's how I got into doing what I do, is wandering, traveling. It's been nice.
Yeah.
Takes a sip of ale.
Good to see that ale's not going to waste.
They're bonding.
I mean, we got lost in town.
You did some spending.
Some impulse buying most of the time.
And trying to fix books.
Trying to get books. Rearrange things. Buy a painter set.
Okay,
Yeah.
now I've got to ask, is that water or wine?
This?
Mm-hmm.
It's water.
Okay.
I just have these really cool goblets for them, so.
She's getting into character.
Yeah. Unfortunately, after that first session, I realized that the tankards that we have are slightly too old and don't seal properly anymore
No.
Oh no.
because they have a glass bottom on them. So,
That'll do it.
Mm-hmm.
Are the two of you just going to enjoy and maybe chat a little bit in the bar for the next bit?
But probably keep people watching. People are interesting.
yeah.
As you continue people watching, kind of chatting every now and then, but not getting too into it, I'll say, at first. I think we'll take a short break because it's about 9:30, so that's normally a good break time. And we'll be back at 9:35.
That works.
All right. We'll see you guys back in a little bit, unless I get attacked by another spider, and then I quit.
Fair enough.
See you soon. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for staying with us. All right. Getting back into it. Hey, Mark, and, well, you realize that you feel pretty well rested. You've made it through. You wake up, stretch a little bit, look over. Isabella is face planted to the other pillow, just still out cold.
FYI, I think that's just a good way to keep her for at least this session. Yeah.
The DM
So the
is
first thing
on
I
this.
do-
The DM is totally on this.
I agree completely. So the first thing I do is get my armor back on.
Are you doing it
Yeah.
slightly quietly as to not wake her up?
I'm being nice.
Yeah.
And I head downstairs to get a drink.
You do see that the majority of your food is still right where you left it on the side.
I can tell them when I get down there.
All right. Yeah, you get downstairs. You see that it is well into evening now, that there's still farmers and whatnot sitting around, eating, drinking, talking. And because, as we've pointed out, the tabaxi in the room is sitting over there, kind of chatting with Vanessa just out of the way.
Okay. Anyone notable in said room?
Roll for me a perception. Can you / will you roll a 4?
Let's hope not. What was that again? I just saw the stupid thing. Okay. How about 12?
Hey! Looking around, really, your new acquaintances are the strangest looking people around. You see that there's a mix of humans, a couple of half-elves, some dwarves. Nothing else too outrageous looking or anybody extravagant looking.
No, wasn't necessarily looking for extravagant or out of the ordinary, just something more like a guard or some random, like, gangs, one of the gang members.
No, you don't see anybody dressed in black or purple around here, and it would be a little difficult to see if anybody had that particular burn that you were warned about. But
Okay. So, I'll go and join the cat in the room and make it a party. Hello, ladies and gents.
ladies and ladies,
Well, Giles.
Giles isn't there.
Giles left. He had left the table.
It's just us
Just
two.
the ladies.
It's
Hello,
just
ladies.
the ladies.
How is everyone tonight?
Pretty good.
And as a reminder, you have finished your long rest, so you are at full hit points and have half of your hit dice back, and any of your abilities that return on a long rest.
I only used one hit die, so yeah.
It's back.
Yeah. Okay, so where are people from? If you can't tell, he doesn't beat around the bush.
Well, that was blunt.
What continent am I from? Because I thought you told me. I just don't recall.
You are from Exalus, as I screwed up my notes a moment ago, and I'm now just switching things around.
Fair enough. Notes.
Okay.
And if not, then I've just completely screwed up my notes on you guys at one point, and everything is now fixed on stream.
Okay.
So, I'm from Exalus.
Do I know where that's at?
Make a knowledge. All right, it's not called knowledge. It's just called
Nature?
Nature or history. I will take either of those.
Hmm.
Sorry, I am still in Pathfinder mindset half the time, and I'm like, it's a knowledge.
Yeah. I'm still half in Pathfinder.
Just, you want to learn about the continent?
Geography.
Knowledge geography. But
Totally.
Survival could also be good on locating geography.
It's more for, that would be, I understand that a mountain range would be in this next to a river, kind of like that, but not the names or places of things.
It would be good for traversing the area, not for really remembering
the map.
where people are on maps.
Yeah.
Don't roll a 6.
Well, I'm doing it nature because I have a better bonus.
Go for
and
it.
the bonus is +2 versus nothing. So
Hey!
Hey, we got a
rolled a
roll.
16.
My luck has helped.
Yeah. Vanessa, yeah, you can vaguely remember hearing about it. You passed by another dock at one point, and so it would have been another crossing of water for you to get there.
Oh.
But you've at least heard of that kind of continent?
Can I see if I know of it?
Yeah, nature history.
It's the same bonus. Nope!
You have this brief moment where in this weird meta history sort of way, you think you were from Ixalis for a little while, and then realized, no, that was just a dream.
The mythical land of Ixalis where phoenixes and dragons live.
Yeah, it's just like, no, not.
Nope, Teleray. That's, I've always come from Teleray.
Let's not forget all the catnip.
Don't take these puns personally.
I come from a grand and historic line of catnip farmers.
I think we should stop punning before the DM curses us all.
Why do you think I've stopped?
Adding it to my list.
Nip this one in the butt before it gets out of hand.
I see you there. I'm watching you. I know where your character sheet is.
Okay.
Anyway, outside of puns.
So, that's where I'm from. Where are you guys from? You just keep drinking the ale.
Well, you started asking it as she started drinking, just like, this is awkward.
Cholera?
Well, trying to, interact with people.
I've noticed. Spent most of my time wandering Teleray, so.
I'm gonna see if I can't roll for that to see where that is. And both are the same thing. Okay.
I've done much the same.
How's a 19 work for you?
You have heard, picturing where you're at. You've heard of Teleray? It is, you have had family members go there. So you have a decent idea that you know that they had to take a boat for not a terribly long distance, but the actual issue is that you had to cross all of Ixalis first to take the boat. Like, that was the long part. So the land travel is longer than the sea travel.
Right. Okay.
But it is...
So, I know where that's at.
Yeah.
Cool.
And
It'd probably be on the world map of, places to go.
I'm working on it, guys.
So-
I swear.
Yeah. Oh, I'm talking about his like family world map.
Gotcha.
So, it's an interesting place. Haven't been there yet, though. We'll need to go there at some point.
I mean, I've just
Yeah.
wandered there, so I haven't seen all of it yet.
That's fair.
Need to go there?
Yeah. My family tends to travel. When the guy comes by, I would order an ale.
Yeah. It takes a little bit, and then finally, like, he kind of walks over. It's that issue of, like, especially you guys had to watch for a little bit to realize most people go up to him to order. He doesn't come around as much. It's more he realized there was an awkward situation going on, and finally just was like, oh, I'll go to them.
Like, if things are calm now, I would go to him, but if it's still kind of edgy,
Oh, in the room in general?
mm,
The edginess is mostly past.
okay. I'll go up to him and get a ale and come back.
Easily accomplished.
Cool. Yay, drinkage. Now I have an excuse.
The in-character moment.
So, what do you guys think of all this?
All this what?
Where we're at?
It's new and it's weird. How the hell did we get here?
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems
That's
to be
the biggest
question.
question.
That seems to be the question of the day. Have you guys found anything interesting? I assume you've been out and about. Also, the food up there is for everyone,
Oh,
including Giles and them. So,
we kind of got our lunch for free here.
yeah, I'm just mentioning it.
It's fair. We came, when we came back, we poked our heads in just to see if you guys were still sleeping, and you were. So we just left y'all alone
That's fair.
because
Yeah.
no one likes being disrupted while they're sleeping. If it's not a
Yeah.
life or death issue.
Yeah, it's problematic.
Picked up some books on the area.
Yes. Books.
Apparently there's a clock tower a couple of towns over.
Books.
The cursed one?
Renessa will give you a look. Clock tower, you say? Starts rummaging through her bag, pulls out books. Flips notes around. Is it? I can't read my handwriting.
Here, I'll be
Liberal?
nice. And I think the players are already on this, but there you go. There's a map.
Yeah, the cursed. What is it? The cursed tower. Where'd I put that?
Lerenberg. I can read it
That's
now.
it.
I appreciated your pinging there.
Cursed Clock of Lyraberg. Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently, the statue creator went crazy and died.
I have the book on it. It's proudly holding up the book.
Have you read it?
I just bought it today. No.
Fair enough.
Yeah. We can
Just what I've heard. That's all.
peruse
Would
a
be
couple
interesting
of
to visit.
books. It would.
Haven't fought any ghosts yet. Sounds like fun.
Okay, then.
My family tends to deal with getting rid of monsters and things like that, so
That makes sense.
hence why we travel.
I just travel for the fun of traveling. So
Well, yeah, it's fun. I'm just there's
you have a purpose in why you travel, which is actually really cool.
doesn't mean you can't enjoy the travel.
Mm-hmm.
I just travel because I have nowhere to stay.
Well, if you ever decide you want to settle down, let me know.
I think I have a couple of years in me before that ends up happening.
Fair enough. Oh God. Why grog? Why Nav? Why grog?
What? I just heard my husband laugh maniacally. I feel like he's to blame for something in Twitch, and I can't see
There
it.
is a Twitch thing that just... No. It is not advisable.
Cool.
Anyway. Yeah, I think the biggest question is how.
How we got here?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, especially since it seems like we're from areas that are far away from.
Yeah, I'm starting to wonder if there wasn't divine intervention.
Magic. That's really all I can say about it.
Well, I think more divine because we ended up in a spear hole made by a god during a god's war.
Hmm?
So it seems reasonable to at least put that in the list of possibilities.
I mean, I don't think we're going to ever get that answer, at least for the time being.
Yeah.
Also, it's really interesting just sitting here and listen to all of the farmers talk. Hi, there's a lot.
Is there anything I would pick out with said perception, or no?
If you would like to make a perception roll to, like, actively listen.
I like
Let us
people
see.
watching too
How
much.
about a 22? Do I find anything interesting?
The real thing that you do catch is you see that there's one crotchety-looking older human gentleman who's now... You could tell from just looking at him that he's a couple cups in. That he's just kind of mumbling to the guy next to him in that drunk mumble sort of way.
Mm-hmm.
Being like, I'm telling you, man, the mallards are to blame for everything that ever happened bad to us. And you remember that time your cow got its head stuck in a mallard's fault. And you remember that time that you stepped in shit, mallard's fault. Is you remember that other time that other shit happened? They're the shit family, and it's all their fault for everything. Everything around here is ducks. Fucking hate ducks. And just like slams his cup down and like back downing it all again and like slamming it down and being like, hate ducks.
Hate Doug.
Okay then. What's
That's
with
just
the
the line
duck
of the
thing?
night.
Yeah.
Which is like something odd and interesting to have heard and to catch.
Can I look
Jeez.
around again for people watching us?
Sure, it's been long enough. You can make another perception.
Today is brought to you by the word curse and duck hatred.
– 14?
Yeah, you're like looking around still. Nobody seems to be giving you a particularly extra, like, long look. You do see that, and this is something else that also Mark has also picked up a little bit, is you do catch that there's one person over on the side who's kind of like doing the like look over the shoulder look at you guys every now and then.
The looking without trying to look.
The looking without trying to look, or just like gaining a little attention, that Twitch also catches, and you do see it's the kid that was yelled at before by this person.
Maybe we should get out of the public eye. Not good to be too open for too long.
Well, I'm going to go have a chat. If you want to go up to the room or wherever Giles is, if you would come get me in about half an hour, that'd be super.
I'm just going to keep people watching.
Okay.
I'm just saying you can do whatever. And I'm going to nonchalantly go over to that direction, hi, so, what's up with this?
You're just like putting your arm over like the drunkard's shoulder kind of deal?
No, like I've gone over to the kid and put my arm over like the chair.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's not actually him.
I didn't understand to whom you were referring
Yes,
to with the arm.
Toward the mallard boy who is trying to look without looking.
Okay.
So, what's up with all the hatred?
Like, he has like this obvious look on his face of like shock and surprise as you beeline over that way.
Oh, not like beeline, but just kind of walk. Like I'm walking like I'm supposed to be there.
Okay.
So.
Oh.
Yes, Twitch is getting very twitchy.
Yeah. And as, also, to be fair, he is sitting with a couple of other random farmer people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wouldn't have said that too loud. I would have been relatively quiet.
Okay.
Like, I'm not trying to whisper, but I'm not trying to, like, yell either.
I gotcha.
You don't want to cause a scene
Yeah.
yet.
Yeah.
On a side note, Renessa, you found the people watching that you want to do right now. Yep. He looks a little
Sorry.
surprised and he says, "Excuse me?" As he's just shocked and surprised, so stranger has kind of come up to him and dressed in armor.
Yeah, I've overheard a little bit of how the Malads are causing ills and being cursed, so trying to figure out what that's about.
All of like the other people at the table start doing that like, "I'll see you tomorrow," and like, "Have a good night" kind of thing as they put their money on the table and like kind of move away from the situation. And he's like, it's just some people blaming their misfortune on others.
Okay.
They don't like that my grandfather put his ranch close to the tundra. And so they just feel that we have brought ill upon everyone. But that's their beliefs, not ours.
Would they have any particular reason? Like, maybe there's an old story or that they might believe of why you might bring said ill?
Well, like, he's still kind of like looking like kind of up at you and on the side.
I'm gonna sit down if there's
Now
room.
there's room at the table. Everybody else kind of
Yes.
cleared out, being like, "I don't know who you are, and I'm leaving."
My family tends to deal with trying to get things settled and deal with monsters, etc. So I'm trying to figure out if there's a way I could help.
Like, he kind of like perks up a little bit. "Can you roll persuasion for me?"
Persuasion. I do not have a lot of that.
Yeah, but you've rolled 19s and 18s so far, so you know what? Oh no, excuse me, 19s. You've in fact rolled
Yeah,
two
that's a
19s.
7. Because I'm being persuasive, and that's, yeah.
And still like kind of looks and he goes, "Well, I mean, we're out on the edge. Everybody has livestock that's killed at least once or twice, a couple times a year, and past season's been a little more unfortunate for a lot of us."
It's unfortunate.
Mhm.
Any weird markings or such? Anything out of the ordinary around said disappearances or what have you?
Nothing that can be blamed on me or my father or my family. And
Oh no, nothing like that. I'm just like, maybe there's some weird creature that's roaming about that's doing this. Just wondering if there's like scratches in the ground or on a tree,
like
something that would be out of the ordinary.
he's like seems a bit hesitant, and he's like drinking from his mug a bit. He's like, "Why are you willing to help with these things?"
If there's something that can be helped with, it's kind of what my family does. I'm just a little bit of a distance from them right now, so.
And like pauses a little bit more and like drink, and he goes, "Then, well, yeah. A couple of us ranchers out on the edge have lost a few more than normal, and Dad's been pretty uppity about it. Seems a little bit more drawn. He didn't want to come into town to sell anything today because of it."
I can understand that. It doesn't want to cause a scene or have people yelling, That's understandable.
Yeah, but no, we've lost 3 cattle in the past couple days.
Is that normal or higher than normal?
It's higher than normal, and he's not even trying to sell some of the meat from it, so, which is more unusual. Something I don't trust, but
any strange sounds coming? Like you hear something weird in the night?
That's the most disconcerting part. There's been no sounds, and both me and he kind of looks a little odd for a moment and just suddenly holds out his hand and says, "I'm Frederick."
Mark. Shakes hands.
Mm-hmm. My brother's Lee, he's the one who's been doing a lot of night watches, and he hasn't noticed anything. There's been no sound. It's all of a sudden he'll walk on his patrols, and he said he found one dead, grabbed Dad, and Dad shushed him away, not wanting him to have to deal with anything. And it's a bit unusual because we've dealt with the death of cattle before. You see wolves take them at times, and you still try to pull everything together, still try to sell what you can salvage.
You can't make money if you don't sell.
And this is Highland steers. This is how all of us make our money out here.
Have you tried putting up, not really traps, but like bells on the walls or gates or what have you?
We got a fence around the whole property, and again, it's something that larger wolves can sneak over or under if they put enough into it.
Well, I was thinking if you put bells on like the tops of them, you might hear where whatever it is coming from.
There'd just be a lot to purchase. We've got good 20, 30 cattle. It's not a cheap.
Well, I'm not talking about like on the cattle, but like on the fence.
Oh, on the fence. No, we've
like a bell on the fence.
This is not a we're many generations here now. It's a strong, sturdy wood fence all across. I mean, but put bells on it. I think there'd even be more bells than on the cows.
Well, if something goes across the bells
Steers.
or it hits the wood hard enough, then it'll ring the bell and you can kind of get an idea where it's coming from.
All right. I'll certainly take the advice to my pops.
So, but if there's anything else that, you can come up with, I'm around.
All right. I'll see if I can get any more information from my dad about it, since he's the one who's kind of keeping things a bit to himself. I guess not wanting us to worry.
If I can come up and visit with his permission, that'd be okay.
He kind of points outward of the streets, and he goes, "Ask anybody where the Mallard farm is, and you can find it pretty well."
Okay. So, Thank you for your time.
Thank you. And, like, pauses a little bit, puts his own money down, and, like, goes off. The drunk, as he, like, kind of walks by, gives that quick moment and just goes, ruining it for all of us.
Tempted to knock him over the head into the door. Inner monologue here.
Cool.
Goes back to the table.
I think
Without
both.
knocking him into the door.
I think everybody stayed. Did Twitch leave? I wasn't positive of that.
I was with Renessa.
Okay, stayed at the table. So yeah.
We all stayed at the table.
Basically, Mark went over to Doc and we're like, people watching?
Yep. Yeah, that happened. That happened.
Both of us gave like the classic cat head tilt when interested in something.
Nice.
So, how do you guys feel to a trip?
Where?
Just
How
out to a little
far?
farm. Apparently something's making cattle disappear.
You were people watching and have a high enough passive perception to you were able to hear majority of that conversation. Occasionally they were a little low, but
Or the drunks were a little loud. Or what have you.
mhm.
I mean, I'm not opposed to learning more about why they think the Mallards cursed everybody.
Right.
Or strange deaths of cattle.
Oh, that too.
But I also think that it's important to have our papers in order before we start messing with stuff.
Well, yes. I'm not saying go before that's done.
Oh,
Just want to get
Giles.
your thoughts on, checking this out.
Giles said that would probably be tomorrow.
Cool. That will help.
Yeah.
How many people are still in the tavern?
It's starting to empty out a little bit. You're getting a few more of the, you would guess from a mix of your knowledges, you're starting to hit the people who live in the city and are going for the cheapest drink. Most of the farmer folk have now left.
Mm-hmm.
Now you gotta get out and get up at dawn.
Yep, I gotta go home.
And you're heading more into dark now, so, or at least dusk to dark, as opposed to where you guys were just seeing it a little bit before.
Okay. I'm just gauging as to when I can sneak downstairs again to put the forgery stuff since Giles never took it.
He took it, gave it back to you, and then walked away. It was a little confusing. You don't think anybody understood what was going on there.
Well,
I'm sure as hell didn't.
Giles was getting food. Did he ever come back?
No.
Nope.
Giles went and never came back.
So where is Giles?
In the kitchen. The last we saw.
Should we get food ourselves?
Probably a smart idea because I don't think we've eaten since lunch.
You get a little peckish.
So, let me go get the food and we can go feed the kid and them and have a chit chat.
We'd probably have to wait a bit since there's a bit too many people here.
That's fair.
Because we don't want to give away their secrets.
Well, of course not.
You can at least go upstairs and grab it to the shorten your
The
trip.
food.
Hmm.
Does Mark know about the secret room?
No.
I was asleep.
Okay.
That's why I was asking where Giles was, and just like I haven't seen him in the room. There's been no activity that's going on here.
I think we've told them because when they got back from shopping that first time around before they slept, they had asked where everybody was. But we said in a room downstairs, and I
That's
don't think-
about it.
we gave any other specific details because at that time I
Right.
didn't have any specific details.
You
You
were,
know
I
all the details.
thought purposely vague, but maybe it was impurposely vague.
No, I
No,
think
but-
that was purposefully vague.
Twitch was purposely vague. Renessa was impurposely vague.
There you go.
Vanessa had no other knowledge other than to be vague because it's all she had to go on.
Yep.
So,
Okay, well, when you guys are ready or the time seems right, let me know. I'm gonna go pack up the food in a bag and I'll be back down.
I mean, if you wanted to grab it now, you could.
That's what I mean.
So,
I'm gonna go grab it, put it in a bag, and come back.
okay. Check on the Sleeping Beauty too.
She should be out for a while. I may or may not have drugged her drink.
Now, no mention of that around here. She's just full on sugar and has crashed.
How many cookies did she eat before she slept?
A lot.
The sugar could put her out.
But yeah, you return. You wait a little bit longer and you see now that you've hit the people who are either well into their cups or pretty much everybody's gone, that you feel that you are at least safe enough to head in that direction.
Cool.
You lead him out or in or down? Over, under, through?
Yes.
Around.
Over the hill and through the woods to Grandma's house?
Exactly. Oh yeah, they lead you off to the back and towards the kitchen, where you don't see Giles around. That's what they mentioned. To the little food cellar, to a switch that you guys now both actually know where it is because you paid attention to it.
Because I've randomly found it with no knowledge.
You had the knowledge that Twitch had knowledge that there was such a thing.
I just think it's really funny that it's like hidden in a wall in a pantry.
And a root
It's like,
cellar.
Yeah, it's a really interesting place to have like a hidden door.
That they open up for you a hidden door that leads into a larger hobbit hole-ish area where you see that there are a couple beds, a desk, there is a little lantern light, and you get the sensation of how everything is set up that you are pretty much under the floors of the main bar area where you see...
I would make note of where the handle and or opening thing is.
You pay attention so you will know how to do this for a later occurrence.
Precisely.
Cool. That you go inside and you see that Nate is kind of just playing with the dice still, although has more is doing the dreidel spin on the dice, as not doing anything else. And Reed is sitting around reading, but you don't see Giles there. I realized what I said. That was not a pun. That was really names and things and such.
It just rhymes. It's one of those weird quirks with words. I thought it was adorable.
Cool.
So
They both look up as you enter, like, moving on, and they're like,
Hey.
I will immediately go put the forgery stuff on the desk so I don't forget.
cool.
King.
I put the food next to it away from any paperwork just in case.
Yeah, it's you more find like a little side table kind of table for that then, as the paperwork is taking up quite a bit. You get a look now at this cardstock material that's got some very legalese fancy writing on it. That there's a couple spots that there are some drying right now.
Could I take out a piece of paper that I have in my bag and see if I can't copy it, if you will?
Or are you just trying to copy the legalese, or are you actually trying to copy, like, make a copy? As in, to make a forgery of a forgery?
Like, copying it. the forger of a forgery, basically, to see if I can do the skill.
All right. Well, as has been stated, anyone can try it out. Can I get an int check from you? Int.
Int.
And I can't remember, and Twitch, if you can help me out for a second, did I give you disadvantage the first time because you didn't know what you were doing? I can't actually remember.
You gave me a dex check.
Oh, it was a dex check. I apologize, it's a dex check.
Okay. They're both the same
Well, that's
bonus,
useful.
so... Yeah. How about a 16?
You get it through. You're getting all the letters and the words right. The handwriting's not particularly precise. And after you, like, finish the whole thing and you look through, you, like, didn't notice that there were subtle differences as one area is actually written in one color ink and another area is written in a different color ink. But you were just, like, you were using your own stuff here, so you just used all the same and were on a normal piece of paper.
I didn't want to waste the good paper, so...
Yeah. But you've got the terminology and everything down.
Cool. I'll put that with a, hey, this is Mark on table.
Okay.
Because Charles is going to see it.
You leave, like, your resume just plopped on the table. Here are my skills. I can do this. Plop.
I can do the forgery too.
Yeah.
I do forge too.
So, okay. How is the halfling doing?
He is reading. He looks, like, up and about. Still kind of laying in a bed. Not too dissimilar from how you left him before, Vanessa, where he's just reading a book. But, he's sitting there and he goes, good to see you. I was able to thank your two friends before, but thank you as well. And you honestly were carrying the brunt of the issue by carrying me for part of it, so thank you.
Oh, you were a little exhausted, so... Are you hungry?
That'll, constantly at this moment.
Bag of food.
You plop for him, like, a bag of food, which has, like, bread and full amounts of meat in it. And Nate kind of perks up and goes, can I have some?
Mm-hmm.
Like, he kind of gets up and Reed passes it over to him so that way he starts, like, cutting it up and getting pieces and bits.
And I've got some cookies for dessert.
Nate also perks up at that. Can I have one?
After you eat.
He does that teenager, and, like, goes over and gets the food first, but also starts heavily plowing into the fresher bread and the meat.
Mm-hmm. So I kind of got this for all of us so we could actually have a decent meal. So eat what you want.
Yeah, Reed looks over and goes, thank you. I was brought a broth earlier, but this will be much more filling and hearty.
Just eat slowly. You don't want to push your stomach too far too fast.
I am familiar with it. Like,
fair enough.
Starts.
Nate, listen to that. Don't do that. Eat slowly.
Okay.
You don't want to make yourself sick.
He, like, does that big swallow as he's put way too much in his mouth, and he goes, I'm alright. I've had worse food than, less food. Starts eating through a bit more. He's now taking more human-sized bites, but still those large bites.
Yeah. So, eat what you want. I can always get more.
Starts eating through.
Eating.
Yep.
I will rummage through my stuff and pull out the nautical book and walk over to Reed and be like, I found this in the bookstore if you'd like it.
Oh. Like, he like, holds it and picks it up and starts flipping through a little bit of it and goes, well, this is very nice. It is basic sea knowledge. And I will gladly take it if that was a very kind gift of you. Thank you.
You're welcome. So we don't know how long you guys had to stay here. I wanted to give you more to read on than just that one book that I saw you with earlier.
Yes, I will at least be here for a little bit, but I think as Nate has shown some desire to move on and not be trapped for too long, that he will head out on his own, and he kind of like leans in a little bit and is like, theoretically, not get into trouble.
He's a kid.
Yes. But once he's gone, he'll be on his own and doing what he wants or thinks he can do. You know, Giles has offered him some transport at least to get out of Jagarin, but we'll see if he takes it.
If he's up for it, I was actually going to have him come with us.
Oh. Where are you all heading? Nate, like, kind of, like, looks up and he's like, where are you going?
Well, me and Isabella are probably going to start heading toward the capital to see if we can't change things to where we could easily get out of here.
Well, certainly good luck with that. I don't know. And he kind of, like, gives a look and he's like, I was just arrested in the capital. Probably not best for me to head back that way yet.
Yeah.
Talking to Giles, I might just head across towards the Miriam Lake and head over to Larton. Haven't been that way.
You know where Exalis is?
No. Is that a town?
That's a country.
Oh, yeah, no. Like, I spent a little time around the port, Baycrocs, but that was never talked about there.
Fair enough. Always worth asking.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Always.
I'm gonna curl up in a corner with one of the books that I got.
Which one do you want to start reading?
Probably the one on the history of the land previous to the most recent ruler.
So you had the two books were The Shattering of the Mountains, which is like on the God Wars, and then you had the Untitled book, which was the one that was on the previous ruler. So I just want to make sure that's the one you're going to start on?
The Untitled one.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, and you start, like, flipping through and reading, and within the first bit, you just see that it's not the book doesn't have a cover, so to speak, that it gave a title, but within a little bit, you get a title, which is The Bloodied Path to Glory.
Edge.
It's edgy.
It is very edgy.
Yeah.
There may be some roses in there somewhere, you know.
I mean, I have a rose bracelet right now.
Are you wearing it?
Yes.
Are you wearing your shawl?
No.
Okay.
No, that's in the bag.
That sounds ominous.
I didn't hear if she put on any of her new purchases. I didn't know she was wearing the bracelet either.
Surprises for everybody.
Surprises for everybody.
Yeah. So I'll start reading that book and learning a bit more on the history of the area, I guess.
Okay. I'll get back to you in some in-game time. Can I get quick your intelligence? Like, what is your actual intelligence?
11.
Okay. But after a moment that you're talking with Reed and the two of you are getting a little information, Reed does kind of turn to you and goes, "Have you seen? I expected Giles to return with you.
We saw him walk into the kitchen earlier when he went up to get food, and he has not returned.
I only was not expecting that, but This is his city, so I'm sure he is fine.
Well, if he doesn't come back after a few hours, figured nothing else, I can go up and talk to the barkeep.
I imagine so, at that point.
You get out.
Oh, I imagine so at that point, yes.
And if need be, we'll go searching.
Yep.
Is there anything you want to do while you're down here?
Renette will get some of the food.
Okay. You also enjoy and partake of the fine meats that the well cut meat that Mark bought for you guys. This stuff is
Not cow tongue.
this is not cow tongue, and this is a bit better than the stew that you're eating before.
Yeah, I'll grab a bit of that.
And then go back to reading.
Yeah.
Do the eat and read. Nom, nom, nom.
Just that bit of just like, oh yeah, I should eat.
You're also honestly getting tired. You
Yeah,
can keep
slight-
going. There's nothing wrong with that, but you're also
Slight
getting
cat
tired.
yawn.
Yeah.
Time for a cat nap.
It's only
12 hours
been what
A
is
while.
this now? This is 17 hours. If I've been keeping track right.
Yeah. Maybe 18. Slowly you're getting close to the 20-hour mark in the rounding of things.
Yeah.
Not counting how long we may or may not have been awake before we got here.
Yeah, you were awake beforehand too. Like you didn't actually sleep, but you felt rested in that weird sort of a way. Like you were kind of busy beforehand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sleep is important.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you see me there like eating food because I remember I need to eat and like slight yawns.
It's got that drowsy look to her.
Oh
Get
man,
some like chewing on some meat.
sleepy cat faces. Adorable.
The occasional wide mouth yawn.
It's important.
It is important, especially for cats. But yeah, it's like a bit longer. You guys are just hanging out, chatting with Reed, occasionally chatting with Nate as he is eating some of his food. He does try to give you back your dice, although also offers to play a game with you if you're interested. As he learned one from Twitch.
Looks at Twitch, just... Yeah, we can play a game.
First, do you want to play a game?
Yes.
All right. What would you? And he's like, do you just want to do a friendly game, or do you want to bet anything?
He'll take out some ball bearings. I think everyone here has ball bearings.
They are very important, but you know who doesn't have ball bearings? Nate. Nate does in fact not own ball bearings. He just keeps borrowing other people's.
I don't own any.
Fair enough.
And when he sees you starting to take them out, he holds out his hand in preparation for someone to split the bet with him.
Yeah, I'd give him some ball bearings.
All right. We are going to play the dice game again.
Yay.
I will first move my roller so I can't see it by accident. Whoop, there we go. We start with you rolling a d8. Excuse me, first you put in the initial bet. He's just going to put in one ball bearing for now unless you're... I don't actually know how many you've given him. He's doing the equivalent of, like, the opening bet.
I've given him 15.
15? Alright, so yeah. Both of you put in one ball bearing to start. Rolls.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
You tell me if at any point you want to check if he's cheating.
I do want to check he's cheating after every roll because I don't know what the giant cat person may have taught him.
really funny you put it that way, too. Roll for me a perception, then, after you've rolled your d8. And just keep the number to the side.
Okay, the perception is a 13.
Okay. He doesn't look like he did anything particularly wrong for the first go of the dice. He adds 2 ball bearings to the pot after the first roll.
Okay, I'll add 3.
Like, kind of eyes you up and down and matches your 3. So you both got 4 in right now. Roll a d6.
Another perception.
Yes, and another perception. You're doing after each time, so just after your roll, give it to me.
19 for perception.
Okay. Still looks like he's on the up and up.
Okay.
All right. He will add another 1.
I will add 5. And watch his reaction very, very closely.
Roll an insight for me.
Insight. What is my... That's not bad. $19.
You get the impression that he's a little shocked. And that he's now trying to read you to figure out if you're bluffing. Like, he's really trying to give you eyes up and down.
As blank face as I can.
What's your charisma?
10.
So as blank face as you can, while every now and then your lip just twitches.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, my... just eyebrow.
Yeah. All right. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
He matches your amount.
Okay. And the perception is a 20. Not a natural 20, just 20.
Okay. You did not detect any cheating from him along the entire way.
Okay. I'll add another 5.
He's like, all right, I would leave if it wasn't for the fact that we're using ball bearings. So he pushes like the rest of the ball bearings forward after he says that.
Oh, what'd you have?
I'm at 13.
I had 15.
Ah. Yeah. Yeah, I kind of looked and he's like, yeah, you were looking a bit too smug there, man.
I'm not so good with the whole trying to be deceptive thing.
But at least, like, I got an idea of how you play the game now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, do you do any others? Like,
Yeah.
Twitch was just able to show me the one.
Yeah. I'll show him a couple others. Stuff like a little bit like Yahtzee. And I guess trying to get snake eyes.
Boxcars?
Yes.
Craps? The equivalent of?
Craps.
yeah.
Yes.
You can also do Knucklebones, which is the 3D4.
Mm. So I'd show him a few different games.
All right. Renessa, what are you doing?
That's a good question.
I'll let you think for a second then. That Mark, you do see that while you're teaching Nate these games, like at first he's learning and like you're just rolling kind of straight for things, but then you do catch over time too something similar that Twitch caught, which is he has this really good ability after a while and like practicing with it that he can do he's not rolling the dice so much, he learns how to drop them in such a way as to get the numbers that he wants. Yeah, he does the wrist flip thing, which gets really annoying on Yahtzee. Like, he's really able to do at one point, like, rolling 3d6, just go 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 2, 2, 2, like, each time, and it's like, come on.
Which is why
And
you use
this
a
is-
cup in Yahtzee.
And this is why I want to bring you with me.
Because he kind of like looks at you and he's like, because I can roll dice.
No, because you have potential.
Ah, well, thanks. Like, smiles and like perks up a little bit at that.
So you can keep the dice. I can get some more.
Thanks. Like, keeps like flicking and playing with them, and yeah, he's got like the dreidel spin down on every single type of die that there is.
But can he do the Jewish dreidel spin?
Possibly, but we'll not know, as there sadly are no dreidels yet.
That's where you spin it on the point rather than.
Oh yeah, no, that's what I'm talking about. That's what he's like doing. He's doing
So
that.
rather than spinning it like this, you spin it this way.
Oh, okay, I got you now.
Oh,
And it drops on the table and spins.
I
A
got you.
note for the DM: those are bone dice.
I've just done something and lost a computer screen. So, all right, it came
Is
back.
it minimized?
No. Like my screen turned off.
Oh,
I think I kicked a cable.
Don't do that.
Yeah, no. So
technical difficulties, please hold.
yeah. I was just more worried for that brief moment. I was like, did I lose OBS? And then no, wait. Just because the monitor turns off, OBS is still there. We're good.
But no, those are bone dice
Oh,
specifically.
Okay. I admit last time I just had down dice, so I was running with it.
Mhm. So as to bone of what? We don't know.
There was something you had from along the way. Anyway, Vanessa, what are you doing there at this time?
She's going to go out to the kitchen and talk to the person that was manning it to see if they know where Giles went. Because she doesn't feel like sitting and reading.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, you sneak back out with enough ease, and the place is quiet down quite a bit. That now that there's a kind of like the night person who's just kind of waiting around. You ask him. It is another dwarf. They look very similar, and you get that familiar impression of brothers, cousins, some sort of family member between the two of them. He like looks and he's like, yeah, I saw him stop in and he walked out a bit ago. But it was while there were still a bunch of people around.
yeah, that might have been when we last saw him, too, because he sat with us when he first came upstairs just to check in on things.
Yeah, no, he came in.
Went back to the kitchen.
He came in for a bite for a moment, and
Mhm.
and he looked over and he like goes over towards in the back over there that there are on the stove or in the stove he pulls out a piece of paper and he goes and he's like, he got a message, and then he ran off for a little bit, but figured he'll be back.
Can I see the message?
Make a persuasion.
Persuasion?
Yes. Oh, I should pull
Okay.
I should pull the dice roller back out. Boop.
You also might want to check your sensitivity. You've been cutting out a
Cutting
bit.
out of it.
I moved my chair back, and I think that's what's doing it.
We all move around.
Yeah.
HD.
Let's see if that helps at all.
Yeah, I can't help but move. I have to move.
I want to roll 1d20, not 21d20.
Oh, why not? Sounds like fun.
Aw. He like
She's just gonna keep speaking and be like they're kind of worried about him since he hasn't come back yet because we walked in and they were expecting him to walk in with us, but they weren't, and that's why I was asking.
he holds up his hands after a little bit of the diatribe, and goes, "I understand, but like," and looks and he like, "I think it was like sash business, so you're not, so no."
That's completely understandable. I just wanted to keep them from worrying since he's been gone for so long.
Tell them he's fine. You know what he just did. He's fine. He's very capable of taking care of himself.
You're not sashy enough for the sash club.
You have not
I mean-
sashayed enough.
I mean, okay. But okay. So for like this is going to be out of character. So from her understanding, like this bar does close at some point for the night, correct?
It is an inn, so it
Okay.
might be kind of open throughout the night. I mean, you guys, when you arrived yesterday, were in the early AMs and kind of in the
True.
pre-dawn time, so you imagine it like maybe not closes, but everybody leaves at one point.
Okay. If he's not back by dawn, would you be able to let us know?
I think that's pretty reasonable.
Thank you. Are there any patrons still out in the bar?
You like take a look outside. We're getting a bit later. You're down to the last people who are in that drunken, like, overdone area. The drunken older guy has left, the one that was talking especially poorly of the Mallard farm. But there's somebody else who's there who's just kind of like constantly nursing a cup.
Okay. She'll head back down to the group just to let them know what the dwarf said.
Okay.
So that way they can all be less worried.
There's like an accumulative nodding from Reed and Nate going on.
If he's not back by dawn, we'll be told.
I sure hope so.
Are you guys gonna stay up for a bit to wait?
I mean, Renessa's good to go for a while, so she's gonna actually pull out a book to read.
Okay, I was about to say
Same.
both of you are pretty up. The one who's forcing themselves to stay awake right now would be the only questionable one. Which book are you taking out to read? You have 3 choices. Or 2. You
I have
gave one
2.
away. You gave one away.
I'm gonna make this a random thing since they're stuffed in her pack. So I'm gonna roll a d2.
Okay. Which one's which before you do the 2? Otherwise,
I've already assigned them.
Okay, good.
So I'm pulling out Strange Tales of the Tundra.
all right. And what is your just a general intelligence, like your general intelligence?
My intelligence score is a 10.
Okay. Then I will ask the 2 readers for the moment. Are you just trying to pull knowledge from it right now, or are you actually reading it through?
I'm just reading it for funsies.
Full knowledge.
Okay. Then I will take an investigation roll from both of you.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, that's right. I don't have a bonus to. Nice.
There you go.
13 and 18.
Hey, you finally got over 10.
Yeah.
Oh, and 18 from Odessa.
Mhm.
Yep, I rolled an 18 flat.
So would you like an applause or a round of applause?
I prefer a square.
I prefer silence when reading.
Oh, this is out of character.
Yeah.
Forgetting the
So-
18.
Oh no, that was the point.
So Twitch, while you're reading and flipping through and you're getting a little bit sleepy, so you're kind of doing that half reading of pages. You're not getting all the full details out yet. But what you're starting to read from all this is that the author was writing on the stance of a critical thing, which they felt was the brutal takeover that the Niri Batan did, of where the original family name was they were originally Batons, and the Neri was the first family, like the previous rulers. And how they went through a systematic process of slaughtering local nobles and that were supportive of them. The Patans did, excuse me. They went through a process of slaughtering a lot of the local nobles that were supportive of them to kind of brutally take over this whole area. And how they were doing it under this slight banner, which was that they were following the oppressor's basic tenets, which was the strong will rule the weak. And they felt they could do that through the murdering of others.
Hey, look, it's like they're following a god of, tyrancy. It's weird.
Meanwhile, Renessa, you start doing like just the flip through, and you see that it's kind of set up in a chapter book sort of way of it's not one long continuous story. It is in fact like picked stories of certain things that are just kind of unique and interesting. So you do that initial like flip through just to see what grabs your attention, and what grabs your attention is of the tales of the tundra. You find that there was somebody known as the Tundra Witch.
The what? You cut out a bit.
Darn it. The Tundra Witch.
It's just that one last word.
Witch.
Witch.
Okay.
That's what I thought you were saying, but both times you went to say witch.
Yeah.
It literally cut out.
This is what I get for a new computer, and I need to continue adjusting my noise gate. I'll work on it later. I just pulled it closer for now. Turn it. Let's see if that helps. Cool.
I just thought it was funny. It was the same word.
The Tundra, a witch.
Yep, there went again.
Nope. Apparently the word witch is just not allowed. The Tundra sorceress.
The Tundra Witch. Here we go.
Yeah. Who is described as this tall, dark woman who would lure children out into the tundra, and that all that would be returned is their walking skeletal bodies back to the family farms, where the children would then murder the families that they came from.
Well, damn.
That's dark. Holy crap.
Creep factor times
So
2.
someone has a dark side.
I'm sorry, we've only had 4 games together so far. Welcome
like
to your DM.
I'm not complaining. It's just like not what I was expecting for like the 4th run.
Yeah. So
From a DM that threw us into Edgevale.
What's Edgevale? I'm lost.
I'll be honest,
she
I didn't get
threw
the
us-
reference either. But
Just the fact that you threw us into an oppressed land, like,
In a spear
instantly.
hole.
yeah.
I
Yeah,
like
this-
starting
this
off with
Edgevale.
the bang.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're reading through the story of this Tundra sorceress, who, like, you're having that bit to be like through too of it's kind of terrible and horrible, but now you can't you can't put it down because it started so strong.
I cannot look away from this train wreck. Here we go.
Yep.
This is gonna be horrible. I can't stop.
What is happening with all of these children? Why is she doing this?
Yeah. And you realize, like, both of you were reading this. You're hanging out with Nate, who you find out had also taken a nap midday, so is also on this weird late night. I'm totally okay to be up sort of schedule. When after a while, you hear the door start to open again, and you see that Giles walks in, slightly surprised to see everybody up and awake and like doing stuff. It's like, oh,
Slightly jump.
Yeah.
I probably would slightly jump too because of the story I'm reading.
the 2 people reading off to the corner both have like this jump and shiver down their spines kind of feel.
How's it going, Giles?
Good. Welcome to, and like he kind of like closes the doors. He's like all of a sudden realizes what's going on. He's like, welcome to the hidden under place. Please don't tell anybody else. And like he kind of looks over. He's like at the other two, and he's like, please don't tell anybody else. And then he kind of looks back again and goes, yeah, I guess you can tell your blonde friend, because that would be weird. But we'll just grab her later. Where is she down here? And like he's now like looking around just to be like...
She's still up in bed. She had a really big sugar crash. Too many cookies.
Gotcha. Cool. Alright. Like, he's still surprised to see you guys. And he's like... Then he looks over and he's like... Can I have some of that food?
That's why I got it. By all means.
That's why we brought him down here.
Alright, good reasons, then, I guess. Like, he walks over and, like, grabs some of the remaining food that's left there.
Figured you might be hungry.
Yeah. How are you?
Better after some sleep.
Good.
Wouldn't mind going out to this farm, but gonna have to wait till paperwork is done.
He, like, gives, like, that sideways look of... What farm?
Mallard.
What? Oh.
The Mallard Farm, see if there's anything weird going on that would actually give the townsfolk a reason to be blaming them.
Ah, I gotcha. Well, I'm gonna be working on that through tomorrow. I finished up 2, and I was gonna give them to Nate and Reed right away.
Mm.
But, if you're heading out, I mean, you're gonna be heading farther out of the city. You're less likely to deal with any guards out there.
Better safe than sorry.
Alright. I can try to rush some up for you. That way you don't feel like...
No rush. I'd rather you get them done right than, rush it out.
Yeah, it's... If you're worried, though, you'd be safer out of town then, where there are less guards to check things. Like, he's honestly going through things and being like, totally honestly, you're safer out there or just staying inside than just, wandering around.
Okay. I guess I'll go out, see what's out.
Awesome. Not that I'm trying to kick you out of the secret area. It's just, I also don't know how many...
Kick me out of the secret area.
No, it's... I'm just
joking.
not used to people actually being here.
I understand.
Like, gives a little bit, walks over, like, to the desk area, picks up your piece of paper, gives a nodding shrug moment and puts it back down. And then checks out the 2 that he was working on before and to see how dry and everything looks.
So he didn't use the whole sand trick?
No, he did not use the whole sand trick.
Okay.
Not while he went out and went to do stuff.
Well, usually when someone writes up in, old quill and ink, they'll use sand to help it dry faster.
Yep, because it will help to absorb any of the extra leftovers and prevent smudging.
Yep.
Yeah. But no, he did not use the sand trick.
Fair enough.
I'm sorry, is the in music starting to become too repetitive?
No. I worked at a summer camp over the summer, and one of the songs that they sing there is White Sand and Gray Sand. Who will buy my white sand? Who will buy my gray sand? Which is about the sand used to dry ink.
That's a pretty awesome song.
Yeah. That's the entire song. It's just white sand and gray sand. Who will buy my white sand? Who will buy my gray sand? White sand and gray sand. And just repeats over and over and over again.
Camp songs are wonderful.
And
So
weird.
Well, it's probably started as some merchant crying out for their goods.
And
Of like,
yeah.
I have white sand, I have gray sand. Who's gonna buy my wares?
Yeah,
And then it just
it is what it is now.
It is what it is now. A camp
just
song.
someone was like, "That's a catchy line. Let's."
Whereas Girl Scout camp songs are just like can be really weird.
This is true. I will agree to that. But we'll come back.
Anyway,
We'll come back to close out, I think, too. Since it's almost 11 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
I
And
could go for another 4 hours.
no, really, really can't. And before
I
we
understand.
head the group out, we should also have an Isabella back. Because
just let her wake up in the room alone and just kind of wander around wherever we're all at.
I would have gone and like dragged her down just
As-
over the shoulder. Like, okay.
Yep, I was about to say, Mark, would you leave Isabella alone?
Mm-mm.
Yeah,
Not for long.
not for a long period of time.
No, that's a
But-
bad decision.
But
Bad
yes,
things
Please,
happen. You should
please
also watch.
don't potato sack carry her down into the
I'm
secret lair
Potato
in front
sack
of the bar.
carrying her down into the secret lair. That's happening.
Well, then definitely before we get to that, I think we'll end to prevent such terribleness happening with you guys. Vaguely with the plan of heading to a mallard farm
Mhm.
with possibly taking a young Nate with them or not. Not sure how that part was going. But otherwise, a little time for planning and a little time for getting everything together and a return of Isabella. All right. We will close it off here then. And we will hope everybody has a wonderful Thanksgiving. We will not be back post-Thanksgiving weekend. We will also not be here the following week. But A Call to Rising will be back on December 8th for seeing how these guys do out in the outside world of the kingdom of Niri Batan. So, again, if you would like more information on this show or other shows, please check out our Twitch. This is the Twitch. Please stay on Twitch, but check out our Twitter for some of the up-to-date shows. It's so... Why they have to be named like the same thing, Twitch and Twitter? It is ridiculous. You can't even type it into your computer easily because it always tries to autofill one of them. Otherwise,
The Twitch witch of Twitter.
Otherwise, please go to Discord, which has a nice normal name, to keep up to date, to interact with people, and just have a good old time. We also want to thank our sponsors, Devin Rue at rueinc.com, and, darn, I forgot the second one, tabletoploot.com for awesome dice and other gear. But otherwise, everybody have a great night. Hope to see you again next time. Bye.
Bye.